Together, let's embark on a scientific exploration of yoga, where you are the scientist, your heart is the laboratory, and you are the outcome. Welcome to this session of Meditate with Daaji. Today's episode is a departure from previous episodes. Today we will celebrate Krishna, and Daaji will speak to us about the significance of the Gita. In particular, he will share with us the 7 gems of the Gita. So let's journey together to the heart of the Gita.
Namaste Ji. The teachings from Gita are eternal and time-tested. They inspire us in some fashion. Unfortunately, inspirations, however lofty, do not move us to the next step of actualizing the truth one is seeking for. We are always being told by our teachers and preachers of high rank and reputations that the best thing to arrive at is Sthita Prajna, no doubt. Also to understand that man should never consider himself to be actual doer of things. Okay. Would you be happy simply reading the menu from 5-star hotel when you're hungry? We read witnessing bhava or sthita prajna state or a balanced state or all those lofty states. How are we to arrive at them? Our observation says that mere reading or hearing of it is of no avail unless we take up the means to achieve all those states in a very practical way. We are always in the dark about those means which are necessary for the purpose. Nowhere can the slightest hint to that effect be traced out in all their discourses. The result is that those who are listening are wrongly led to this conclusion that only the frequent repetition, like mantras, verses after verses, should be enough. Things like, I am not the doer, or I am Brahmam, or Brahmasmi. Is it all enough, just reciting? It is detrimental, in fact, to remain under illusion of having merely done our part of recitation. One must adopt right means to arrive at right results. Earning the fruits of our practice, like sthita prajna state of mind, or having a condition like that of a lotus leaf in a dirty pond of water that remains unaffected, or becoming a witness, or joyously embracing saranagati, or performing niskam karma or desireless state. Will recitations such as I am Brahman or I am merely a witness actually give birth to such states? Think over it. If that was so easy, then by now all reciters and listeners would have attained what Lord Krishna is hinting at in many different ways. I would like to share with you all a great revelation, a mercy of my beloved Master, Pujya Sri Babuji Maharaj. Please pay close attention. Let us visit the Mahabharata scene when the war was just about to begin. Arjun is despondent and decides not to fight. Now, consider how much time Lord Krishna could have possibly required for speaking out the total text of Gita as we find it today. The armies were standing face to face on the battlefield, and war trumpets were sounding aloud, announcing the 0 hour for that ultimate action. How much time was there at the disposal of Lord Krishna to bring Arjun back to proper course, getting him ready to fight the war by preaching sermons to him? Think over it. The recitation of 18 chapters packed with 700 slokas requires at least few hours. How could that be possible at that critical moment? Evidently, he could not have taken more than a few minutes for it. The fact is that Lord Krishna actually transmitted to Arjun within few minutes all those mental states necessary for the purpose at that very moment. Really, they were the very conditions which a spiritual seeker passes through during the course of spiritual journey. The process brought Arjuna instantly to a higher state of a feeling of spiritual consciousness and purged out the feeling of undue attachment from his heart. This can as well be possible today if a personality of that caliber is there. But as it is too commonly witnessed, people hear, they recite Gita for the whole life without taking in the least effect thereof. The essence of Gita never touches their heart. How many has so far turned around like Arjuna, in spite of hearing the Gita for years together? Lord Krishna transmitted the knowledge to Arjuna, as witnessed by sage Vyasa, who transcribed the same in sloka format. This is important to understand, that whatever transpired between Lord Krishna and Arjuna, unspoken words which were transmitted, they were transcribed in sloka format later on by sage Vyasa. This heart-to-heart transmission from the heart of the Lord to Arjuna was witnessed by sage Vyasa, who carefully transcribed those emotions and conditions in slokas that became what we read today as Gita. The actually recited verses were only 7. These 7 gems were imparted to Arjuna through 7 verses. The rest were added by many sages over the passage of time, besides what sage Vyasa transcribed, the heart-to-heart conversation that was between Lord and Arjuna. Heart-to-heart dialogue was also no less important, perhaps more important than those 7 verbal communicated verses. I like to, with a lot of reverence to the Lord, to my beloved Babuji Maharaj, heart flowing in gratefulness, I like to share with you all those 7 gems, the 7 verses. One of them is from chapter number 2, verses 55. That says, Prajahati yada kaman sarvan parth manogatan atmani eva atmana tushta sthita pragya tada uchyate. O Parth, one who, having renounced all desires born of the mind, one who is content in the self and by the self, it's said to be one whose insight is steady, sthita pragya. Chapter 2, verse 62. Dhyayata visayan punsa sangate sup jayate Sadgat sanjayate kama, kamat krodha abhijayate. While contemplating on the pleasures of the senses, one is attracted to them. From attraction arises desire, and from desire arises anger. Next one also from the same chapter, verse 63. Krodhat bhavati sammoha, sammohat smriti vibhrama. Smriti ansad buddhinasha, buddhinasat pranashyati. Anger leads to confusion or delusion of mind, which results in loss of memory. When the memory is lost, the intellect is lost, destroyed, and ruin of intellect leads man to destruction. Next verse also from the same chapter, 64 in number. Raga dvesha viyukteha, tu visayan indriye charan, atma vashya videyatma, prasadam adi gacchati. But one who controls the mind and is free from likes and dislikes, raga and dvesha, even while using the objects of the senses, attains the grace of God. Same chapter number 2, sloka 66. Nasti buddhihi ayuktasya, na cha ayuktasya bhavana, na cha abhavayatah santi asantasya kutah sukham. There is no wisdom for a man without harmony, and without harmony, there is no contemplation. Without contemplation, there cannot be peace. How can there be happiness for one lacking peace of mind? Chapter number 3, verse 35. Shreyan swadharmaha vigunaha, pardharmat su anistitat, swadharme nidanam shreya, pardharma vayavaha. Better is one's own duty, though devoid of merit, than the duty of another well discharged. Better is death and one's own duty. The duty of another is fraught with fear. In short, Babuji would have said, mind your own business. Chapter 3, verse number 4. Na karmaram anarambhat niskarmyam purusha asnute, na cha sanyasanat eva siddhim sam adhikachati. Not by refraining from action does man secures freedom from action. Let me repeat. Not by refraining from action does a man secures freedom from action, nor does he secure ultimate perfection by mere renunciation that he may secure. Well, those are the 7 gems. Later on, towards the end of the day of the first day of the war, cajoling Arjun, Lord reveals 3 more secrets, personal secrets to Arjun. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuttanam adharmasya tadatmanam sujamyam. That is from Adhyay 4, verse number 7. The next sloka also. Paritranaya sadhanam vinasaya cha duskritam dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. And very important one, chapter 18, verse number 66. Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam saranam raja aham tva sarva papebhya mokshayishyami ma sucha. Now we'll sit and meditate. You all know how to meditate, and perhaps some of you do not really know how to meditate in joining us for the first time. This is how we meditate. Heartfulness way of meditation. It's very simple. Feel relaxed. Remove all the distractions if you might have. Something like phones. And focus on the presence of divine light in our heart. Think that this divine light is attracted inward, and retain this thought as long as you can. If by chance you happen to move away from this noble idea, when you're overwhelmed by so many thoughts, just remind yourself that right now I am meditating on the presence of divine light. Please start meditation.